Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure video. Today, we're going to be looking at a group of custom figures. In front of you is Dutch and his extraction team from the first Predator film, done in the Neca style. Now Neca only made a couple of these guys, both Dutch and Hawkins, and I wasn't satisfied. I wanted the entire team ever since they made the first Dutch figure, but it became apparent after a while they were never going to finish the team. Neca has a bunch of likeness rights issues, the actors won't work with them, and they can't make figures of them. In front of you is Poncho, Mac, Blaine, Dutch, Dillon, Billy, Anna, Hawkins, and the Predator in the background. These are the 8 characters that starred in the film. I am very happy to finally have the team completed. This has been a long project that took years. In this video, we'll take a look at each of the figures and what I made them from. So, hope you guys enjoy. Of the figures in front of you, I made Dillon, Billy, and Anna. Later I started on Blaine, Mac, and Poncho, but I never ended up finishing them. They were at my bin of in-progress customs for years, and it became apparent to me I was never actually going to get around to finishing them. So I ended up contacting a buddy of mine who makes customs for me, sent off my half-finished customs, and he finished them for me. So, let's look at these 8 characters, and let's start off with the Predator. So the first character from the film I'd like to look at is the Predator. He's nicknamed the Jungle Hunter from the first film. Now he was the first character Neca released a figure of, and they made a bunch of different variations of him, with his mask on, with his mask off, battle damaged, cloaked, semi-cloaked, etc. After a few years, Neca ended up releasing a Dutch and a bunch of different variants, and I was very happy they did that. So, this is the ultimate version. He's a redo of the original version, much more articulation and great detail. He's a great opponent for Dutch's extraction team. Here's this figure on my Predator 1 shelf. You can see a whole bunch of different variations of the Jungle Hunter, as well as some skinned corpses hanging upside down. Now let's look at Dutch. Dutch was the star of the film and the first human they made. It was a big deal when they got Arnold's likeness rights, and they sure milked the hell out of it. They gave us so many different versions of Dutch, but I'm very happy they did. This was Dutch as he appeared when they first dropped into the jungle with all of his gear on. Here are all the different versions of Dutch Neca's made from Predator. 7 of them are from the film, and 1 is from the 1994 arcade game Alien vs. Predator. There's only one other version I could imagine they could make, and that would be an ashy version from the end, after the Predator detonated his bomb. They have done Dutch to death, and I'm very happy they did. I even bought another one of these Dutch figures, and put a head on it for my fodder pile. This could be either Dutch's brother, or possibly his descendant in the future. A couple years later, they released a Hawkins figure. This was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I did find it kind of odd. The next figure they chose to release was the first member of the team that died. There were plenty of other more popular members of the team to do, but I don't think the actors really worked well with Neca. Hawkins was played by Shane Black, who directed the most recent The Predator film. I actually bought 3 of the Hawkins figures. I had intended to turn 1 into Poncho and keep another for spare purposes. I ended up removing the glasses on one of my Hawkins, and that was my start of making Poncho, but I ended up using a whole other head for that purpose, and then I had an extra head from Hawkins, and I threw that on top of an alien's colonial marine body. Now let's check out Dillon. Dillon was played by Carl Weathers. He seemed to be the most logical one to make next. It became very obvious at this point that Neca was never going to complete the entire team, so I had to take matters into my own hands. I did see some tweets between Carl Weathers and Neca a couple years ago, but I don't think anything ever came of it. Carl Weathers probably asked for way too much money for his likeness rights. They did release an Apollo Creed figure, and he came with 2 different Carl Weathers heads. I had seen some other people make a custom like this, so I decided to make one as well. I got that Apollo Creed figure for the extra head, and then I got a Bill figure from Contra. It was made with the exact same body as Dutch, and a simple repaint was in order. I took a vest from a Diamond Select Stargate figure, and a hat from some generic action figure and repainted it in military colors. Since I bought 3 Hawkins, I had 2 of an extra SMGs he came with, and they worked great. This would be Dillon as he appeared at the final fight when he died to the Predator. This is later in the film, after he'd stripped down some of his gear. I thought this guy came out fantastic. So I've considered making some other versions of the Dillon character. I do still have that extra head from Apollo Creed, and it's a smiling head. I've got 2 of these Dutch figures from the opening of the film. I thought I could take the extra Dutch figure, repaint his pants, paint his shirt white, turn him into a black man, throw Dillon's head on there, and then I could have Dillon from the opening scene where they arm wrestled. And then I thought I wouldn't mind making a Dillon from the opening when they dropped into the jungle with all his gear on. I would have to buy another Apollo Creed for an extra Carl Weathers head, and I'd probably have to use the initial Dutch figure we showed earlier in the video. Just some thoughts for future projects. Next, let's look at Billy. Billy was played by Sonny Landham. He was the next logical character to make. I got a Neca Contra Lance figure and pretty much straight repainted him. Made his skin a little darker like a Native American. Added some war paint on his face. I got a vest from a different Diamond Select Stargate figure. The head was perfect from that figure. Lance, the Contra Neca figure. It almost seemed like Neca wanted you to be able to customize these guys between giving you the extra Carl Weathers Dillon head and making this Contra 2-pack that are perfect bases for Predator customs. It was a match made in heaven. Now this was Billy from later in the film when most of his gear was gone, his shirt was off. I did think about making a couple different versions of Billy. I'd have to get another Jungle Extraction Dutch to have him fully clothed and another Lance figure for the head. And then if I bought yet another Lance figure, I could make the end Billy where he cut his own chest. Just some thoughts for future projects. Now let's look at Anna. I happen to have some extra parts in my fodder pile, and they turned out to make a pretty nice Anna. The body was from a Vicky Guerrero Mattel wrestling figure, and the head was from a Diamond Select Mallrats Renee figure. Made her skin a little darker, like she was from South America. Repainted her outfit. She had jeans and a tank top, and I thought it went pretty good for Jungle Anna. Here are a couple of other Mattel Vicky Guerrero figures. Not the exact one I used to make Anna. And on the left, we've got the Diamond Select Renee. I replaced her as a civilian in my action figure world. These 2 Vicky Guerrero use the exact same bottom half as the Anna figure, but it was a slightly different top with a sculpted tank top. I actually took the arms off this figure here and used them. That way she could have a gripping hand and hold something. I thought she turned out pretty well. Now let's look at Blaine. Blaine was played by Jesse Ventura, and I don't think they were ever going to be able to make a figure of him. Now, I took the Jungle Extraction Dutch, put a Hopper head from McFarlane's Stranger Things line, and then I gave him the minigun from the T-1000 that Neca made. Overall, he came out okay. The head had the nice scruff from the Hopper figure from Stranger Things, and he had the police hat. I was able to heat it up, fold this part over, glue it up here. This hat ended up turning camo. Not perfect for Blaine, but it looks pretty good. Now this would be Blaine when he first landed in the jungle with the rest of the team. I did think about doing another figure later. He'd have to have a different base without this extra shirt on, and then I could paint his shirt with the MTV logo on it, just like in the film. I pretty much used these 2 figures to make my custom Blaine. Added a backpack and the minigun, and bam, here you go. I would like to eventually make a different version of him with the MTV logo, but for now I'm pretty happy. And I did get a few of the Hopper figures and make some extra cops. That's how I had the extra head for Blaine. But we're getting a little off topic here. Now let's look at Mac. Mac was played by Bill Duke. I got another Jungle Extraction Dutch, repainted his body, repainted his outfit, put a head on him from Mattel Wrestling Devon Dudley, and added a hat. Gave him a gun with a very long, extended clip of bullets. I thought it captured Mac okay. Mac is more or less a combination of these 2 figures. Jungle Extraction Dutch and the head of Devin Dudley from Mattel Wrestling. This Dudley was repainted into an Arkham Knight militia. And then we've got our Mac here in the middle. And this Mac comes with a removable hat, so you can make either version from the end of the film or from the beginning. And the final character to look at is Poncho. Poncho was played by Richard Chavez. I used the extra Hawkins body, and originally I was going to use Hawkins' head, but then ended up using this McFarlane Mass Effect Scott Ryder head in place. He has a removable hat, he has his grenade launcher, and his submachine gun. Overall, he looks pretty good as well. Had to make sure he had the war paint across his face. There is another version of Poncho that could be made later in the film when the tree trunk hit him and his ribs were broken, he was damaged. Would love to have that version for the endgame fight with the Predator. Like I said before, I used this McFarlane Mass Effect Scott Ryder figure. He came with an extra unhelmeted head. Since I got two of these figures, I had two of those heads. One of them made an extra generic Neca Aliens Colonial Marine, and one of them made my Poncho. Gave him the removable hat and the war paint and the appropriate guns, and I thought he came out pretty good as well. So I'm very happy to finally have Dutch's extraction team completed. This project took a long time to complete. It was drug out for years, and I had to get some assistance to get the last couple guys finished. Although there might be a couple of details that are not accurate to the source material, I think I captured the essence of these guys and their overall main looks from the film. One thing I would have liked to have done is put together the complete team as when they first dropped in the jungle, and then get all their final portrayals done as well. So there's still some future work to be done. But overall, very pleased to have these guys. Let me know what you think of them. Drop me a line in the comments below. I've seen a bunch of other people complete the team as well, and a bunch of really nice custom work out there. So, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure videos from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.